We are going to talk about generative AI. Recently, the Google has launched its generative AI large language model called as Palm 2. So we will start with Palms 2 now. Let's see that. So to begin with Palm 2 API, we have created a project folder as Gen AI demo. Now I'll go to my Visual Studio. Let's launch the Visual Studio. Okay. Let's open the folder which we have just created, Gen AI demo. Once we have launched the folder, now what we have to do is we have to actually create a virtual environment for us. So let's create a virtual environment. What virtual environment will do, it will set up a basic Python packages into our project library. Okay, now it is done. Let me open the terminal. So right now it's the virtual environment is not loaded. So let me go to command. Let me open the command prompt. Now you can see that the paths of folder path have .vmv, which means that the virtual environment is loaded now. Let's create a new file in this and let's give it a name like demo. Yeah, AI dot I py and p. So basically we are going to create a Python notebook file. Yeah. Now let's see. Import OS. We'll press Alt plus Enter. It is asking what for which environment to load. Python environment. This is the virtual environment which we have created. So we'll select this environment. Now it is asking for because this Python notebook files we have created. So we have to install the kernel for the Python notebook. Looks like now it is done. Let's try again executing this cell. Yeah, it's done. Next, what we have to do is we have to install the Python package for the Palm 2. Yeah. So for that, what we need to do is pip write a command pip install Google AI. So this package will help us to call the Palm APIs for our generative AI project. Okay, great. It is now installed. So let's import the this package. Google.generative AI. Okay. Now let's configure the key, uh, API key to use the Palm APIs. Um, so for that, you have to register yourself with the Google Maker Suite. Once you register yourself with the Maker Suite, you can come over here, get API key. Either you can create a new API for your project, or you can copy if you have already got configure. Hmm. We have configured the API key. So there's some default settings which we have to take before we call the Palm API to generate any text. So here in the default settings, we are giving what model we will be using in this project. So there are multiple models um, available in the current Google AI package. So one is the text bison, another one is embedding for embedding, another one is for the chat project. So for each type of project, there is specific models available which we can use for our generative AI projects. Right? So the temperature is it you can set the value of the temperature from 0 to 2, and it gives that whether how much creativity you want in your response. So if you if you want a very specific response, you can start with 0, and if you want some type of creativity, you can increase the temperature from zero point 0.7, zero point 0.8, 0.9. So it will basically give randomness in the response generated by the Google AI, the large language model. Candidate count gives the parameter used to tell the large language model that how many responses you are expecting from your prompts. The prompt is nothing but a basic question and instructions which you are giving to your large language model, how it should, along with the input, how it should respond. So there are multiple settings, other settings. We can talk about all these settings later. At a high level, output tokens, it ensures that how many tokens are returned as a response, then what will be the stop sequence, and also we can set different safety settings when generating the large language model is generating text. It can check for these settings whether in the response should be have tox it will check for the toxicity, harm category, violence, and it will, based on the settings, it can add or remove the content depending on the category, what category we have allowed and we have not allowed. Yeah. Okay. So let's start it. Great. Now this done. The next thing is next command is to call our A- API. So the Palm API. Okay. This is the command to call the Palm API. So in the prompt, we are going to what question we want to ask from the large language model. That question and instructions we can give in the prompt, and then we'll call the generate text API method to get the response. So we have passed all our default settings over here and the prompt here. Cool. So here now you see we have the output generated by this question. Now let's ask another question. Like anything we can write. Um, Tell me about your origin. Let's see what response will be generated. None. Tell me about your it is telling me about the India. India is a beautiful country with wide range of landscape and offer. So that's you can try with multiple questions and can see the results. Yeah. Thank you.